Hello, my dear friend. If you are a woman over 70, I want you to pause for just a moment and take a deep breath. You have lived through decades of change, love, loss, sacrifice, and strength. You have cared for others, carried responsibilities, and kept going, even when it was hard. But now, in this powerful chapter of your life, there is something you need to hear. You do not have to keep putting up with things that no longer serve you. You have nothing left to prove. What you do have is wisdom, time, and the beautiful right to live on your terms. In this episode, we are going to talk about 10 things that women over 70 should never tolerate again. These are not complaints. These are boundaries. These are lessons. These are gentle reminders that you deserve more peace, more joy, and more freedom than ever before. And I promise you, by the time we get to number 6, something inside you will shift. So go ahead and pour yourself a warm cup of tea. Get comfortable, and let's have a real, honest, woman-to-woman conversation, because you have earned the right to speak your truth, take up space, and live fully. Let's begin. 1. Stop compromising your happiness to keep the peace. For so many years, you have been the peacemaker, the one who held things together, the one who smiled even when your heart was tired. You said yes when you wanted to say no. You bit your tongue to avoid an argument. You kept your feelings inside to keep the family calm, to keep the group comfortable, or to avoid upsetting anyone. But here is something important, something that might be hard to say out loud, but needs to be said just the same. Your happiness matters too. Keeping the peace should never mean sacrificing your own joy. You do not need to go along with things that make you feel small. You do not have to pretend everything is okay when it is not. You have the right to speak your truth, set your limits, and choose what brings you peace. And no, it does not make you rude. It does not make you selfish. It makes you whole. At this point in your life, it is time to stop walking on eggshells just to keep everyone else comfortable. The people who truly love you will understand when you stand up for yourself, and the ones who do not. They may not be your people anymore. You deserve relationships where honesty is welcome, where your needs are respected, where you do not have to shrink yourself just to avoid conflict. It is not your job to carry the emotional weight of everyone around you. Not anymore. From this moment on, let your happiness matter. Speak with kindness, but also with confidence. And know that your voice deserves to be heard, clearly, fully, and without apology. 2. Stop avoiding the conversations that matter. Let's be honest, some conversations are just hard to have. Talking about your health, your finances, or your final wishes, it can feel uncomfortable, even scary. You might think, I do not want to worry anyone, or we will talk about it someday. But that someday often never comes. And here is the truth. Avoiding these conversations does not protect the people you love. It only leaves them unprepared. You deserve to have a voice in how you live and how you are cared for. That means being honest about your health, your needs, and your preferences. It means telling your children or loved ones where important documents are kept. It means saying out loud what you want when it comes to medical care, living arrangements, or even funeral wishes. These are not dark conversations. They are loving ones. Talking about money, it is not shameful. It is smart. Let someone you trust know how your finances are set up, what insurance you have, what accounts you manage. This is not about giving up control. It is about protecting your peace. And when it comes to your emotional needs, speak those too. If you feel lonely, say so. If you want more connection or more space, let it be known. The people who care about you want to understand you, but they cannot if you stay silent. You are not a burden. You are a guide. Having these conversations now, clearly, calmly, and with love, means less stress, fewer surprises, and more peace for everyone down the road, including you. So do not wait. Speak up. Be heard. And take comfort in knowing that your truth is not just important, it is necessary. 3. Stop settling for low expectations. There is a quiet way the world tries to convince older women to accept less excitement, less purpose, less joy. Sometimes it is not even said out loud. It just shows up in the way people look at you, or talk to you, or assume you should be content with just enough. Maybe you have even started telling yourself things like, "I should be grateful," or "I guess this is all there is for me now." But let me tell you something, clearly and with love, that is simply not true. You are not too old to want more. You are not too late to begin again. Your life is not winding down. It is unfolding into a deeper, richer chapter. You may have retired from a job, but that does not mean you have retired from living. You still have ideas, desires, and things that light you up. You still have permission to change your mind, to start new routines, to walk away from what no longer feels right. You do not have to keep doing something just because you always have. And you certainly do not have to settle for relationships where you are constantly giving and rarely receiving. If someone cannot meet you with the same care and respect you offer, it is okay to ask for more or walk away. If a daily routine feels lifeless, change it. If your dreams have been packed away for years, take them back out and see what still fits. Your life does not have to look like anyone else's. Not your neighbors, not your daughters, not the version of yourself you were 20 years ago. You get to raise your expectations now, not lower them. And not because you need to prove anything, but because your time, energy, and spirit are too precious to waste on anything that leaves you feeling empty. Whether that means planning a trip, trying a new skill, joining a group, or just allowing yourself to imagine something bold, it is never silly. It is never selfish. It is never too late. You are not here to simply pass the time. You are here to feel alive. 4. Stop feeling obligated to say yes to everything. You have spent a lifetime showing up for others. Family birthdays, community events, reunions, church gatherings. You have probably said yes to things even when you were exhausted, overwhelmed, or simply not in the mood. Why? Because you did not want to disappoint anyone. Because it felt like your duty. Because that is what women do, right? But here is the truth. You do not have to say yes just because you were asked. You do not need a long excuse. You do not need to feel guilty. If something does not bring you peace, joy, or meaning, you have full permission to say no. Saying no is not rejection, it is self-respect. When you honor your energy and your limits, you are choosing to live intentionally. You are choosing peace over pressure. You do not owe anyone your time, not anymore. You have earned the right to be selective about where your energy goes. That might mean skipping an event, declining a favor, or choosing rest instead of running around. And the beautiful thing? When you say no to the things that drain you, you create space to say yes to what truly matters. The people, the moments, and the activities that actually fill your heart. So the next time your phone rings with an invitation that feels more like an obligation than a joy, pause. Ask yourself, do I really want this? Or do I just feel like I should? If the answer is no, that is okay. Say it kindly and move on with peace. Because your time is no longer for pleasing others. It is for honoring yourself. 5. Stop putting up with toxic people. This one might be the hardest of all, because sometimes the people who hurt us most are the ones we have known the longest. Maybe it is a lifelong friend who never listens but always expects. Maybe it is a family member who takes advantage of your kindness or constantly criticizes you under the disguise of just being honest. Maybe it is someone who always brings drama, negativity, or guilt into every conversation. You may have tolerated it for years because you thought you had to, because they are family, because they have been part of your life forever. But let me say this with love and clarity. Just because someone has been in your life for a long time does not mean they deserve to stay. You do not owe anyone access to your peace. If someone constantly drains your energy, disrespects your boundaries, or leaves you feeling small after every interaction, it is time to reevaluate that relationship. And no, you do not have to make a big announcement or have a dramatic ending. Sometimes the most powerful decision you can make is to quietly step back. Limit the time you spend with them. Let their calls go to voicemail. Protect your space. And most importantly, stop feeling guilty for doing so. This is not about being cold. It is about being clear. You deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up, who speak to you with respect, who show up with kindness, people who see your value, not just your history. It might be hard at first. You may even grieve the version of the relationship you once hoped for, but over time, you will feel something powerful return to you. Your peace, your energy, your joy. Let go of who drains you so you can make room for who restores you. 6. Stop living in the past. There is something so powerful and personal about memory. The past has a way of wrapping itself around us, sometimes like a warm shawl of comfort, and other times like a weight we can't quite shake off. For many women over 70, the past holds some of the most treasured moments of their lives. The early days of marriage, the sound of little feet running through the house, holidays with loved ones who are no longer here, the feel of a younger, more capable body, the certainty of being needed, of having purpose. And those memories matter. They are sacred. They have shaped who you are. But there's a quiet danger in living only in those memories, because while the past may be beautiful, it is also unchangeable. And when we stay too long in what was, we risk missing what still is. You may find yourself reminiscing more often lately. That's natural. But if you notice that the past brings more sorrow than joy, or that you feel stuck wishing things could be the way they were, it may be time to gently let go. Not to forget, not to push it away, but to release the grip it has on your present. Because here's the truth. You are still here. Your story is not over. The present is not a placeholder. It is a precious, living moment filled with its own kind of beauty. It may be quieter now, but quiet can be peaceful. It may be slower, but slow can be sacred. Look around. There are still mornings to wake up to, still songs that stir your soul, still new recipes to try, new books to read, new people to laugh with, even if just over the phone. There is still life pulsing gently beneath the surface, waiting for you to notice it. You can honor your past without being trapped by it. You can miss what once was and still open your heart to what could be. You can remember the people you've lost and still make new memories for yourself. You have more to give, more to feel, and more to enjoy, but only if you are here for it. So allow yourself to loosen your grip on yesterday. Give yourself permission to live fully today, because the truth is, the present moment is a gift, and it's the only place where life is actually happening. 7. Stop sticking to outdated beauty standards. For decades, women have been told how they're supposed to look. From the pages of fashion magazines in the 1960s to today's endless stream of social media, there has always been a set of rules, most of them written without our input. Don't let your gray show. Keep your figure slim. Hide your wrinkles. Dress your age, but somehow still stay trendy. Smile more, even when you're tired. Be graceful, but not invisible. Sound familiar? As women over 70, we carry the weight of those expectations, many of which were never realistic to begin with. And even now, when we should be enjoying the freedom of this stage in life, we still feel pressure to look younger, stay relevant, or age well, as if growing older isn't enough in itself. But here's what I want to say to you, clearly and lovingly. You do not need to fight the natural process of aging in order to be beautiful. You already are. That silver hair on your head? It's not something to hide. It's something to honor. Those lines around your eyes? They're the physical proof that you've lived, loved, laughed, cried, and endured. They are not flaws. They are your story etched into your skin. You don't have to follow fashion trends that make you uncomfortable. You don't need to wear makeup unless it brings you joy. You can dress in soft fabrics that feel good against your skin, shoes that don't hurt your feet, and colors that make you smile, not because someone told you they're flattering, but because they make you feel you. Aging is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. You have made it through heartbreaks, losses, victories, quiet triumphs, and countless days where you showed up for life even when it wasn't easy. That deserves admiration, not airbrushing. True beauty at this age is not about appearing younger. It's about being more yourself than ever before. It's the quiet confidence in your voice, the kindness in your eyes, the self-respect that radiates when you walk into a room, not needing to impress anyone, just comfortable in your skin. You don't have to apologize for growing older. You don't have to erase the evidence. In fact, the more you embrace your natural self, the more you give other women permission to do the same. Let go of outdated standards. Redefine beauty on your own terms. Because when a woman stops hiding and starts owning her truth, there's nothing more radiant. 8. Stop overcommitting your time and energy. You've spent your life showing up. For everyone. For everything. You were the dependable one, the helper, the planner, the fixer, the person others leaned on, called late at night, counted on during family emergencies, and expected to make the holidays magical, and for years you rose to the occasion without complaint. Because that's what women like you do. You give, you show up, you care, often at your own expense. But at this point in your life, something has to shift. Because here's the truth, most of us don't say out loud. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Your time and your energy are not infinite. They are precious, and they are yours to protect. It's so easy to keep saying yes. Yes to the family dinner you didn't want to host. Yes to volunteering when you're already tired. Yes to babysitting, helping, cooking, driving, without even asking yourself how you truly feel. We get so used to being needed that we forget to ask, what do I need? It's okay to say no. It's okay to not explain. It's okay to put something off or not do it at all. You've earned the right to rest, to recharge, to do things not because you should, but because you want to. The world won't fall apart if you take a step back. In fact, you might be surprised to find that the people around you are more capable than you thought, or that maybe, just maybe, they've been relying too much on you because they never had to do it themselves. When you stop overcommitting, you make space for things that truly matter. Quiet mornings with your coffee, long phone calls with friends who make you laugh, a slow walk through your garden, a nap in the middle of the day just because it feels good. This chapter of life is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but with more intention, more meaning, more joy. You have given so much to others. Now is the time to give something back to yourself. Your time is no longer a currency you owe. It's a gift you get to spend how you choose. So breathe, pause, and know this. You don't have to prove your worth by staying busy. You already are enough, whether you do a little or a lot or absolutely nothing at all. Nothing. 9. Stop avoiding the conversations that matter. There are some conversations that tug at our hearts long before we ever speak them. The ones about aging, about health, about money, about what happens when we're gone. And for many of us, these topics are uncomfortable. They feel too personal, too final, or too heavy to bring up. So instead, we brush them aside. We say, I'll talk about it later, or there's still time. But deep down, we know We need to have these conversations, and we need to have them now. Avoiding these topics does not make them disappear. It only makes them harder for the people we love. Because when the time comes, whether it's a medical emergency, a financial decision, or end-of-life care, our loved ones will have to make choices. And without guidance, those choices become stressful, confusing, and even painful. That's why one of the greatest gifts you can give your family is clarity. Talk openly about your healthcare wishes. Do you want life-saving treatments? What kind of care feels right to you if your health changes? Let your loved ones know, not so they worry, but so they have peace of mind, knowing exactly what you want. The same goes for money. You don't have to share every detail of your finances, but someone should know where to find important documents, bank information, insurance policies, wills, retirement accounts. This isn't about control, it's about preparation, about making sure your affairs are in order, so no one has to struggle through the unknown. But it's not just the big legal or medical things. It's also about emotional conversations. Have you told your children how proud you are of them? Have you asked for more connection, more support, or more space, depending on what you need at this stage? Silence creates distance, but honest conversation creates intimacy. These talks are not always easy, but they are always worth it. Speaking up is not about being morbid. It's about being responsible. It's not about control. It's about care for yourself, for your peace of mind, and for the people who love you and want to honor your wishes. So please, don't wait until life forces these conversations to happen. Start them while your voice is strong, while your heart is clear, while you still have the time and energy to say what truly matters. 10. Stop compromising your happiness to avoid conflict. From the time we were young, many of us were taught that being a good woman meant being agreeable, polite, easy to get along with, keep the peace, don't cause trouble. And so we learned to stay quiet when something bothered us. We let others take the lead, even when it hurt. We avoided conflict, even if it meant betraying our own needs, our own voice, our own joy. But you are not that young girl anymore. You are a woman who has lived through decades of love, loss, change, and growth. You know who you are now, and it's time to stop shrinking just to make other people comfortable. Avoiding conflict might keep things calm on the surface, but underneath, it builds resentment. It silences you. It leaves you nodding along when your heart is saying, "This isn't right." You start to feel invisible in your own life, and slowly your happiness slips away, not in one big moment, but in 1,000 small ones where you said, "It's fine," when it really wasn't. You don't have to live like that anymore. You are allowed to speak up, to say, "That hurt me," to say, "I don't agree," to say, "This doesn't work for me." And you can do it without yelling, without drama, without guilt. Speaking your truth is not about being harsh. It's about being honest. And here's something important. Healthy relationships can handle honest conversations. The people who truly love you may not always agree with you, but they will respect you. And if someone reacts poorly to your boundaries, that is not a reflection of you. That is a reflection of them. At this stage of life, peace doesn't mean pretending. Peace means alignment. It means that your outer life matches your inner truth, that you no longer say yes when your heart says no, that you no longer smile to cover up pain, that you no longer accept one-sided relationships just to avoid difficult talks. You deserve to feel heard, seen, respected, and above all, you deserve to feel happy. Not someday, not in theory, but now. So let this be the season where you stop apologizing for your truth. You've spent enough time keeping everyone else comfortable. Now, it's your turn to be comfortable being completely unapologetically you. So here we are at the end of this message, but perhaps at the beginning of something even more important, a new chapter in your life, written on your terms. If you've listened this far, I want you to take a deep breath and truly feel the truth of what we've shared. You've spent decades giving, carrying, holding, and showing up for others. And now it's your time. Not in a vague, you deserve it kind of way, but in a real, grounded, soul-deep way. Because you've earned it, not just with years, but with wisdom, with heart, with all the quiet strength it has taken to become the woman you are today. These 10 things we've talked about, they're not just reminders, they're invitations. Invitations to return to yourself, to honor what matters to you, to step into each day with intention, not obligation, to choose joy even when it feels unfamiliar, and to believe that no matter your age, your life is still full of possibility. Let this be your turning point. The moment you stop settling, stop pleasing, stop waiting, and start living, really living, with courage, clarity, and deep-rooted joy. Because you are not invisible, you are not finished, and you are most certainly not alone. If this message touched your heart, I hope you'll share it with a friend who needs it too. Leave a comment. I'd love to know what you're done putting up with. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more soul-nourishing stories, guidance, and gentle wisdom. Remember this, always, you are not too old. You are just getting started, and I'll be right here, walking this beautiful road beside you. Until next time, take care of your heart. You've earned it.